The stories of Mahabharata, retold by Sudipta Bhaumik. Welcome, dear friends, to another episode of The Stories of Mahabharata. In the last episode, we heard how Krishna tricked Jayadratha to come out of hiding and get killed by Arjun. Jayadratha's death struck a severe blow to Duryodhana's confidence. He had promised to protect his brother-in-law but failed miserably. Duryodhana came to Drona and said, "Gurudev, I understand I am not the righteous kind of man whom you'd lend your support. I also understand that Arjun is your favorite student and you can't kill him. But instead of individuals, you should think about your loyalty to the throne that supported you and all your life. If you want, I can go and kill myself right now. But the throne is bigger than me or any other individual. Show some respect to the throne." Drona was tired of listening to Duryodhana's complaints. "Stop bickering, Duryodhana. You don't have to teach me about my responsibilities. You have seen for yourself, with Krishna's support, the Pandavas are invincible. You, along with 6 of the greatest Kaurava warriors, failed to protect Jayadratha. Still, you blame me. Let me tell you this. I won't take off my armor till I've finished the last of the Pandava warriors. That's what I can promise. And for that, today the battle will not stop even after sunset. It will continue as long as necessary. Now let me go and fight." Drona raised his bow and instructed his charioteer to take him to the middle of the battlefield. Karna overheard Duryodhana's conversation with Drona. He pulled his chariot near Duryodhana and said, "My friend, you should not blame Drona. The poor Brahmin is old and has lost his touch. He no longer possesses the vigor and skill that once made him a great warrior. Don't you worry. I alone will defeat the Pandavas and make you victorious." Kripacharya was passing by. He stopped and laughed at Karna. "If words could have won battles, then I'm sure you'd succeed in bringing victory to Duryodhana. In all your previous battles with the Pandavas, you lost miserably and had to run away to save yourself. Now stop boasting and go fight." Karna was furious. He yelled at Kripa, "How dare you insult me? Do you have any idea about my strength and prowess? I have in possession the deadly Shakti weapon of Indra. No mortal can escape it. I have been saving it, for I plan to use the weapon to kill Arjun, and when I hurl the weapon, not even Krishna can save him. So keep your mouth shut and watch me do my job. For if you utter one more word of insult, I'll cut off your tongue." Drona's son Aswathama heard this and couldn't control himself. He pulled out his sword and ran to Karna. "How dare you threaten my uncle Kripacharya? Who do you think you are? Where were you when Arjun killed Jayadratha? Where was your so-called Shakti weapon? You are nothing but a fraud. You deserve to die." Aswathama raised his sword to strike Karna. Duryodhana and Kripa jumped ahead to stop him. "Control yourself, Aswathama," said Duryodhana. "My friend Karna had no ill intention. Please forgive him." Ashwathama was still angry. If Uncle Kripacharya forgives him, then only I can forgive. Kripa said, Well, we are all on the same side. We shouldn't be fighting amongst ourselves. I forgive you, Karna, for your insolence. But remember, Arjun won't be so kind, and he will not tolerate your arrogance. Karna bowed to Kripa and then asked his charioteer to take him to the middle of the Pandava army. There, he launched the most ferocious attack one could imagine. None of the Kauravas had such a devastating effect on the Kaurava soldiers in the battle so far. Thousands were killed, and Karna's bow seemed to be spitting out endless stream of deadly arrows. The sun went down on the western horizon, but no conch shells rang out to declare the end of the day's battle. The fighting continued, and in the darkness of the night, one could only hear the death cries of the soldiers, the sound of the racing chariots, the galloping of the horses, and the cries of the stampeding elephants. The generals on both sides asked the warriors to carry lamps and torches. Each elephant carried 7 torches, each chariot carried 10, each horse 2, and the infantrymen carried 1 torch each. The thousands of dancing torchlights gave the battlefield an eerie look that was never witnessed before. Unable to control Karna's onslaught, the Pandava army began to scatter and flee the battlefield. Yudhishthir knew if Karna isn't checked, tonight might be the last night of the war. He asked his charioteer to take him to Arjun. Yudhishthir's charioteer skillfully drove the chariot through the darkness and took him to Arjun. Yudhishthir stood up on his chariot and yelled, "Arjun, what are you doing here? Go, stop Karna! He's killing thousands of Pandava soldiers every instant. Our warriors and generals are fleeing the battlefield. You must kill Karna today." Arjun knew Yudhishthir was serious. He looked at Krishna and said, "Krishna, take me to Karna tonight. Either I will kill Karna or he'll kill me." Krishna looked at Yudhishthir and said, "Don't worry, Yudhishthir. We'll take care of Karna. You should go to your tent and take some rest." Krishna tugged the reins of his horses, and the chariot slowly moved forward. Arjun was perplexed. "What are you doing, Krishna? Take me to Karna." Krishna stopped the chariot and said, "Listen to me carefully. Karna has with him a deadly weapon called Shakti. Lord Indra gave him this weapon. When struck, nobody can survive it. Karna has been keeping this weapon in his custody with the sole objective of using it against you. Till now, he has been waiting for the right moment to strike. After Jayadratha's fall, he is under tremendous pressure to do something, so I don't think it would be wise of you to face him now." "I can't hide away from Karna just because he has this weapon," said Arjun. "You know very well that only I can stop Karna and defeat him. No other human being can kill him." "Right. No other human being can defeat Karna. But a Rakshas can," said Krishna. Arjun was baffled. Krishna elaborated. "Bhimsen's son, the giant Rakshas, GATOTKACH, is an indomitable fighter. He has a wide array of weapons at his disposal, and he possesses magical powers. He should be able to overpower Karna and defeat him. Let me summon him." As soon as Krishna thought of GATOTKACH, the giant Rakshas appeared before him. He bowed to Krishna and said, "Please accept my regards, Krishna. Tell me, what can I do for you?" Krishna smiled at him and said, "My dear GATOTKACH, I have heard that you have killed thousands of enemy soldiers and wreaked havoc amongst the Kauravas. Now, you have something greater to do. Karna is causing a lot of trouble to your uncles and your relatives. His arrows are killing thousands of Pandavas, and our warriors and generals are fleeing the battlefield in hordes. You must use your powers to stop and destroy Karna. I know your powers amplify during the night, so this is the best time to exercise your strength and your magic. Arjun said, I regard you as the greatest of the Pandava warriors, same as Bhimsen and Satyaki. I want you to engage with Karna tonight. Satyaki will cover you. Ghatotkacha bowed to Krishna and Arjun and said, Thank you for your trust in me. Tonight, I'll fight a battle that nobody has seen before. I won't spare anybody. Victory will be ours! Ghatotkacha jumped on his chariot and drove to the direction of Karna. Karna wasn't prepared for this sudden attack from this huge and grotesque-looking Rakshas, Ghatotkacha. With eyes bloodshot, beard dyed yellow, and teeth sharp as steel swords, and a brass armor on his body, Ghatotkacha rode a chariot driven by 100 horses. On top of the chariot mast sat a hungry vulture who teared apart the flesh of Ghatotkacha's victims in seconds. Karna was startled for a moment, but then attacked Ghatotkacha with full force. Ghatotkacha used his magic to create thousands of ferocious-looking Rakshas soldiers who attacked Karna's army using spears, machetes, boulders, chains, and whatnot. Ghatotkacha used all the tricks to confuse Karna. Sometimes he would disappear and then suddenly attack from behind. Sometimes he would fly up high in the sky and attack from above, and the next instant emerge from the ground below and hurl a spear at Karna. Karna wasn't fooled though. He riddled Ghatotkacha with arrows, and soon the Rakshas looked like a porcupine. Suddenly, Ghatotkacha split himself into several wild animals like lions, tigers, and snakes, and pounced upon Karna. Karna killed them all. But Ghatotkacha was indomitable. Alayud, another Rakshas from the Kaurava side, attacked Ghatotkacha. Ghatotkacha severed his head and threw it at Duryodhana. Ghatotkacha's illusory Rakshas army began to kill thousands of Kaurava soldiers, and Karna was finding it difficult to keep up with these never-ending tricks. Karna knew at this rate, Ghatotkacha alone can annihilate the entire Kaurava army. Duryodhana came running to Karna and said, What are you doing, Karna? Kill Ghatotkacha immediately, else we are doomed. I'm trying my best, said Karna, as he shot another volley of weapons at Ghatotkacha. It seems he's indestructible. Use your Shakti weapon on Ghatotkacha, said Duryodhana. That weapon will kill him for sure, isn't it? Yes, but I've kept the weapon for Arjun. It can be used only once. Karna was hesitant. Duryodhana was impatient. Forget Arjun. If we can't kill Ghatotkacha now, the war will end tonight. Don't hesitate. Use the weapon and kill Ghatotkacha now. Karna knew Duryodhana was right. Ghatotkacha must be eliminated to keep alive any hopes for Kaurava victory. He pulled out the deadly Shakti weapon, aimed it at Ghatotkacha, uttered a mantra and hurled it. The weapon shot ahead with a loud roar, with fire streaming from its tip, and before one could blink an eye, it struck Ghatotkacha's chest and exploded with a loud bang. Ghatotkacha stumbled at the impact of the weapon. He knew instantly that his final moment has come. I must cause maximum damage to the Kauravas, even with my death. Using his magical powers, he began to expand himself and soon became as huge as a mountain. And then, as he died, his body crashed to the ground on top of the Kaurava soldiers, killing thousands by crushing them to their death. The Kauravas who survived rejoiced at the death of Ghatotkacha. They praised Karna for his gallantry and prowess in destroying the Rakshas, while the Pandavas felt depressed at the death of Bhim's son. Krishna, however, didn't seem to be sorry at all. When the news of Ghatotkacha's demise reached him, he jumped in joy and hugged Arjun. Arjun was surprised, to say the least. He asked Krishna, What are you doing? Bhimsen's son, my nephew, Ghatotkach, has been killed, and you are dancing in joy? Krishna laughed and said, Yes, I am happy, indeed very happy for you. Karna has spent his Shakti weapon on Ghatotkach, the weapon that he intended to use on you. That is why I sent Ghatotkach to fight Karna, to save you. Now, you should be able to kill Karna without any fear. Arjun was stunned to hear this. How could you be so cruel, Krishna? Krishna smiled and said, I have done this only for you, for it is through you I want to get rid of evil and build a righteous world. For you, I have killed Jarasandha, I have killed Shishupal and Ekalavya. If they weren't dead, they would have joined Duryodhana and caused your defeat. For you, I caused the deaths of villains like Hirimba, Bak, Kirmir, and now Ghatotkach. It's good that Karna killed Ghatotkach and gave him a glorious death. If not, one of these days, I might have to kill him. You would have killed Ghatotkach? Arjun was shocked to hear this. Ghatotkach is your nephew, Bhimsen's son, and he has treated you and your family with respect. But I know he was a Brahmin hater and a ferocious creature who has plundered many hermitages and yagnas, tortured the sages and the hermits, and killed many innocent humans. I've been hearing complaints about him a lot and didn't take any harsh action only because of you. Now, he has died a proper warrior's death and will be respected forever. So stop lamenting and get ready to fight again. Krishna tugged the reins of his horses and the chariot began to roll. With a heavy heart, Arjun picked up his Gandiva and prepared to fight the enemy once again.
The Stories of Mahabharata is written, directed and told by Shripta Bhawmik. Audio engineering, original music and sound design by Avi Ziv. Find us online at facebook.com/Mahabharata podcast. Join the group for updates and news. Subscribe to the podcast using iTunes or any other podcast catcher. On Twitter, we are at Mahabharat Audio.